Hi guys, so it's Emma from Lincolnshire Recovery College, and once again I'm delighted to be joined by Deanne, who is an employment specialist within LPFT. We are going to be looking at top tips for interviews. So we know the market is really competitive out there, and we mentioned the 3Ps. So Deanne, off you go. The 3Ps are?
Preparation, practice and personality.
Out of those three, preparation, practice and personality, do you think there's one that really kind of shines out as being the most important?
Probably preparation, because if you're prepared, then you will go into your interview more confident.
Yeah.
If you're more confident, you're likely to convey your personality better. Your answers should be more clear and concise because you've done all your research and you've done all your prep.
Okay, so when someone has got that interview, what sort of things should they be sort of preparing in preparation for that interview?
Okay, so my first suggestion would be to research the company, who it is you're working for, what their values are, their mission is, what sort of role it is that you're applying for. Look at maybe the list of duties, the job description, the person specification, and kind of do some research around the company and the job role.
Is that because they're quite likely to ask you at interview, tell us what you know about us, or tell applying for the position?
Yeah, I would say it's likely that you would be asked, can you tell us why you would like to work for us? What would make you a suitable candidate for this role? Can you tell us what you know about our organisation? And I think if you've done a bit of research, it would come across really well at the interview, that you're very keen and you've done research. Yeah.
So is there some common questions? So, we talk about practice as one of the P's, and you just said that question might be one that kind of regularly comes up. Is there somewhere where I could go and have a look at common interview questions, or are there some sites that maybe could help?
Yeah, so Indeed's a good site to look on, and Total Jobs. If you was to just pop into the Google engine, top tips for interview or potential questions that I'm likely to be asked at interview, there would be some suggestions. Perhaps if you was going for an admin job, for example, then you could put in potential interview questions for an admin job, and then it would give you some examples of the types of question that may be asked.
Do you think it's good to practice and rehearse, almost have some kind of questions already, some answers already ready?
Yeah, definitely. So prepare like a little mini mock interview for yourself, essentially. I would say the average interviewer asks between 5 and 7 questions. So kind of have an idea of what you think you may be asked and how you're going to answer that question, and maybe prepare some real life examples as well. The nature of my role, I would suggest that we do plan our outfit, we do try it on, and we maybe do a practice run in terms of driving to the venue, how long it took me, allowing for traffic. The last thing you want to do on the day is try your jeans on, they don't fit, you've set off 10 minutes late, you're in a traffic jam, because it's just going to make you nervous. So the more you can prepare, try your outfit on, look at yourself in the mirror, do that journey in the car or on the bus, so you've just got the confidence that you're going to turn up on time and you're going to feel comfortable.
I always thought you have to be really smart, but is that true?
It would depend on the job you're going for, really. So obviously if you was going for a business administration job, you'd perhaps wear a shirt and a tie, or maybe look a bit smarter. But if you was to go for a job in Sports Direct, for example, then they would think it would be totally fine if you turned up in a tracksuit, for example. So try and tailor your outfit maybe to the nature of the job, I would say.
Okay, brilliant. And personality, so that's one of the final P. I guess I know when I go for interviews, I talk even more than normal. But how can you get your personality to shine through when you're probably going to be really anxious?
Yeah. I think just to smile and just try and be yourself, which is obviously really hard when you're in an interview situation. But it could be that, you know, there's you and a couple of other candidates and you've all got the same points or whatever, and, you know, who do we go with? And, you know, they may remember that little joke you made, or the smile, or your bubbly personality, and just be mindful of your body language as well, and keep in eye contact, and just be yourself, be positive, smile. I know it's hard, but
I think it's hard for everybody, isn't it? And
yeah.
Another real top tip that I want to share actually is about eye contact. So sometimes people can find eye contact quite difficult, but if you look at people's eyebrows, it gives the same kind of feeling that you're looking at their eyes. So that can sometimes help people that maybe find eye contact a little bit tricky. You've got to be yourself, haven't you? Because you can act for 20 minutes for the interview, but ultimately you really want them to know who you are, don't you?
Yeah, totally. I think it's important to be yourself, definitely. And like you say, true to yourself, you know, and then you will come out of there thinking that you've done the best job that you can do, and this is who you are. And whatever happens, happens.
So we're going to do a little bit of an added bonus to this video actually. So got any tips for during the interview? So, you know, we're actually in the interview now. What are those sort of things that we need to watch out for?
Okay, so going back to the eye contact thing, that's really important. However, if your interview panel consisted of 2 or 3 people maybe, it would be really important to engage everyone on the interview panel. So don't directly respond to your you know, the question to the person that answered it. Involve everybody in that. And then maybe just be clear and concise with your answers, maybe structure it to maybe 3 or 4 bullet points, and kind of, where you can, relate it back to a real life experience. And remember that positive outcome as well. So if you're telling a scenario story, you know, let's not forget to say what the end result was, what the outcome was as well.
And another thing that I was recently told when I went for an interview is to try and use I rather than we, because, you know, it's about selling yourself, and I think people can find that quite difficult actually, to really kind of promote us. But, you know, I think that's what we need to do, interview more of I and less of we. Would you agree?
Yeah, totally. I would say that's one of my top tips, definitely.
So, preparation, make sure you know where you're going. You know, do a dry run the day before or the week before, and really try and research into the company, you know, make it ask about that. Practice as much as you can. And be yourself. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you guys have found that useful, and I believe the next video that we are going to be doing is all about disclosure. So how do we disclose to employers about our mental health? Okay guys, so I look forward to seeing you soon, and thank you again to Deanne.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, bye-bye.